Hey everybody, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I'm here with my student Joao, and he's actually from Brazil, as you guys know. We worked up a few pieces of music on YouTube already, and our next song up is going to be Skid Row, I Remember You. Obviously the singer is Sebastian Bach. We're going to work off the video that we already have out. We will put that in the description so you can see how we did. But we wanted just to do kind of a fireside chat of how we got here. And we're gonna actually demonstrate it live. So it'll be on the fly and we're just gonna talk about it as we go. So you ready?
Ready,
All right, let's do it. Here we go, fire up. Here's Joao and Sebastian.
Woke up to the sound of pouring rain. The wind would whisper and I'd think of you. And all the tears I cry, they call my name.
Okay, before we get to that, I want to just, so let's talk a little bit now. Sebastian has a really unique approach to singing. I mean, he's kind of his lower stuff, he's usually kind of pretty soft and gentle. And then he starts kicking butt in his mid voice and he can hold these notes forever, you know, right? So he's got this really great distorted tone. But why don't you just sing the opening line a cappella right now?
Right. I woke up to the sound of pouring rain. The wind would whisper and I think of you. And all the tears I cry, they call my name.
Cool, but before we go, okay, so what is it about that you feel, if you were to try to teach this to somebody, what would you suggest for them? I know what I would suggest, and I know what I suggested to you when we did it, so.
First of all, I think, Sebastian, when I'm trying to take a Sebastian song, I always think up front, right? In a mask, very in a mask, wide smile on my face to keep it nice and open because, he does sound a little whiny.
Up top, especially.
Yeah, up top, yeah. And
so woke up to the sound of the pouring rain.
Right, yeah, really small in the front.
Okay.
And that's what, I would go for. Not too much, so you don't need to mimic or you don't need to sound exactly like him, but that's something to keep in mind, right? Like woke up to the sound.
But it's small though.
It's small.
Woke up to the sound of pouring rain.
It's real small, right?
And make it like intimate, it's very heartfelt. I think it's very heartfelt, this part of the music.
Right, I agree, totally agree. Okay, let's continue, here we go.
When it needed me, I came through. Paint a picture of the days gone by. When love went by and you made me see. I'd stare a lifetime into your eyes. So that I knew that you were there for me. Time after time you were there for me.
Now, I want to stop here. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. I want you to sing the very first verse all the way to this point, totally a cappella right now. Okay? Please?
From the
beginning, all the way to here.
Okay.
Woke up to the sound of pouring rain. The wind would whisper and I think of you. And all the tears you cry, they call my name. And when you needed me, I came through. Paint a picture of the days gone by. My love went blind and you make me see. I'd stare a lifetime into your eyes, so that I knew that you were there for me. Time after time you were there for me.
Good job, okay. A couple of carpal
Well, yeah, a little pitchy.
I know. We actually just sang for an hour and a half before this started. Now, what do you think of Groneveld? What's the other guy that took Sebastian's place in...
Eric Gronewald.
Gronewald?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually doing some really cool stuff. But maybe we should at some point, do like a little takedown of him because he's been able to find those similar pockets and reproduce them. Whereas, Sebastian these days isn't doing it in the same kind of way. So let's go ahead and move on to the chorus here.
Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand, love that unsaid, don't remember you.
I want to stop here because I want to talk about contiguous phrase singing. This is really important. Go ahead and sing the chorus and let's talk a little bit about it, all right?
Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand, love letters in the sand. I remember you through sleepless nights, through every endless day. I don't wanna hear you say, I remember you.
Cool.
Sound like
right. So most of it, we're a little flat on it. Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand. He's not going, remember yesterday, walking hand in hand. Right? He's keeping his sentences connected. Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand. I wanna hear you say, I wanna hear you, not I wanna hear you say, I wanna hear you say, I remember you. Right? If you can keep all those phrases connected and not add all those extra unnecessary consonant sounds, you can afloat at an altitude of some pretty high range singing without losing it and without having to have too much stamina. You have stamina, but it's not going to overtake you from being too arduous to sing. So, all right, let's move on. Good job.
Got it right in here. I remember you. There's something funny about Sebastian. I think he, when you think he's gonna finish the sentence or the line, he just goes on. He just goes on. It's never ends.
He's got endless breaths. I know.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a similarity in an Axl Rose kind of way as far as that real. Ironically, they toured with Guns N' Roses on their very first tour, so it made him popular or helped him get popular. But.
We spent the summer in the dark room. Wish ever after would be like this. She said I love you, babe, without a sound. I said I'll give my life for just one kiss. Live for your smile and die for your kiss.
Okay, so give me the verse all the way through this pre-chorus here.
Okay. We spent a summer in the top road down. Wished ever after would be like this. You said I love you, babe, without a sound. And I said I'd give my life for just one kiss. Live for your smile and die for your kiss.
Now, die for your kiss. If you connected that sound, it wouldn't be quite as arduous in the throat as you're going through. Remember, we got to connect them because I heard kind of little chirps along the way. But that's actually because of having to reseat or reopen up that ah vowel over and over again. And it's hard to reopen it up to that specific vowel mod that it's got to be in that phrase. Okay, here's the next chorus.
Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand, love letters in the sand. I remember you through the sleepless nights, through every endless day. I don't wanna hear you say, I remember you.
Okay, before we get to this part, give me all the way to this chorus. And then, we're gonna hit these nice long notes at the end too.
We're in the chorus, right?
Yeah?
Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand, love letters in the sand. I remember you.
Go flat, bring it up.
Through sleepless nights, through every endless day. I don't wanna hear you say, I remember you.
Cool. All right, good job. All right, yeah, I'm starting to go flat because we don't have a reference for the music. But now, towards the end, this is one of the quintessential things I think that was exemplified or showed off, I should say, Sebastian Bach's range, right? As he's coming up with these audacious long notes. Sing this part first. I want to get every line. The promise that we made and all that. So here we go.
We've had our share of hard times, but there's a price we pay, and through it all, we kept the promise that we made.
Good job. Now, I want to point a couple things out you guys probably didn't notice. Sing the first line again, and I'm going to stop you where I want to stop you. Go ahead.
We've had our share of hard times.
Okay. Did you notice on the word times, he's starting to shift into his head voice. He's leaving chest, and he's not pulling up all the weight of chest voice. Time! He's not doing it. Times! He's pulling, or he's relying on going into that head voice, and then promise that we made. It almost sounds like an Iron Man. Right? But it has that kind of head voicey tone. Do it again and really identify this guy. So as you're practicing this, you're not going to pull up all that chest. You're going to rely more on your head voice. Check it out. Do it again.
We've had our share of hard times.
So, hard times. You hear that right there? Do it again.
Hard times.
Right.
But there's a price we pay, and through it all,
Keep going. Yeah.
and through it all, we kept the promise that we made.
Good job. Now, who else we've seen do this is Jeff Tate from Queensryche. We've seen a lot of people, James Labrie, like we've seen a lot of people that rely on this and be able to jump up in this, and it just makes they sound like this monstrous range. And there is monstrous range, but it's not all chest resonant range. It's going through the passaggio and into head voice. So I wanted to point that out because really tricky stuff, especially on this next section coming up. Here we go. We get past the solo. Now, you don't have to sing the verse, but sing from there up to this point. Here we go.
All right. 'Cause you will always be my dream come true. Oh, my darling, I love you.
Yeah. It's almost pure head voice, right? Do it again. Just do that scream.
Oh, my darling, I love you.
Now, do me a favor. Hold on to that screen for a second so they can really hear the head voice. And he's bringing in kind of a little fry too, but some of the distortion into the sound. So just hold on to that note for a second.
Oh, my darling, I love you.
Right? You hear that there's it's almost 100% head voice, but he's distorted it, but he's matching again the tonal qualities of his chest voice to make it sound like he's heaving up all of this, mass from the throat and the bottom. He's not. He's just rolling in head voice, distorting the sound, and then he kind of finishes off with like more of a mix of chest mix at the end to complete the phrase. But here we go. Next. This is what we're going to focus on. This is we're going to remember yesterday walking in. Okay, so we'll play it first. Let me back it up a skosh, and then we're going to hear it from here.
Walking in the
right, let's go from that whole second half of the chorus.
All right. Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand,
Walking hand!
walking hand in hand, love letters in the sand. Oh, remember you, and through the sleepless nights, through every endless day, I don't wanna hear you say, oh, remember, I remember you. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a good job. By the way, we're sitting down. I should make him stand up to do this. Do just the end phrase for me, just so we can pull that end phrase off and get it a little bit closer so the head voice is a little cleaner and not quite overly overdriven, because his isn't quite that overdriven. So then just... Drop walking hand.
All right. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a little long.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so I mean, like I said, we're human. We're just working this stuff, and to do this on the fly. By the way, I'm sort of embarrassing him because I at the last minute had said, "Hey, I want to dig into some of these old tunes that we do," and I just want to have a fireside chat about it. You can see how these building blocks are put together. What's the foundation? How we kind of have some voodoo and some magic in the mid voice, and what kind of tricks we pull out of the rabbits that we pull out of the hat in order to be able to get to some of these places. So a song like this, in fairness, we didn't actually work this up at all before we started just now. We should have spent an hour just only working up the song and then getting on camera. But the honesty of it is better for me because you get to see how this is done. We're all human. We're all just trying it. We're kind of all hacks, no matter who thinks they're great or not. We're all just really trying to figure some stuff out. But there is a very specific technique. There are very specific things that you need to do. There's very specific ways to control your air, when to distort, when not to distort, how much to distort, how much mask to carry up into the throat, when to cross over to head voice and back, having that passaggio where you don't hear going back and forth between chest and head through the passaggio. Lots of factors to negotiate here. So I think he did an awesome job. We've got a lot more coming your way. We're gonna do a Steelheart song. In fact, we're gonna do two Steelheart songs, right? We're gonna do She's Gone, and we're gonna do
We All Die Young.
We All Die Young. And then we've got a couple more Skid Row tunes coming up, right? We're gonna do, we got some cool stuff heading your way, brand new stuff. I'm gonna be doing with Joao. It's his first time in my studio. He was doing this at his room in Brazil, and so now we're gonna get a chance to have some better gear and work on it in person together a little bit more. So thank you guys for joining us, and my buddy Joao, stick around because we got some rock and roll headed your way, and definitely stick around for my next video.